Yeah. Get to us on Sundays. Yeah. Yeah. Off top. Get guap. The hood got heavy metal like Slipknot. I hustle for my chain like a pit stop. I used to want to grip grain to my wrist lock. Oh, now I want a BMW i3. It's little but it's on point like Kyrie. My mama taught me never let a sucker chop me. But if it do, draw blood like an IV. I'm a lover, not a fighter dog. But I done earned more stripes than the Titan Claw. Low key, fat can't fight it all. But she got a CHL if you tryna brawl. All peace, no war. I need bank like a black boy. I'm tryna get my mama out there at 4. I just feel like she the better in the black boys. Skirt, skirt. Peel off. I could ride this beat till the wheels off. Head on my pillow only time I feel soft. Pray go with the flow, spit real sauce. Boy, that's straight out the jaw. Ask around my hood, they know who we are. If they don't, then they probably a mark. I might be with Jeff up at Emmett Park. In the SWAT or the West. Every bar spit is for people depressed. I need every penny, won't settle for less. Trash on the radio really keep me abreast of what the current thought for manipulation is in my community. Astronomical coonery, fancy cars and jewelry don't influence me. I think every hood need an annuity, or at least a solid year of jubilee. That's why I spit tips like gratuity in hopes to slow the rate of eulogies. Hell, I wish it was two of me. Truthfully, every label needs some scrutiny. Cause musically they foolishly push buffoonery into the schools and we let them. I tell countless people that I don't rap for pesos. My partners tell me that I need chips in queso. They see the flow is fuego, so Alfredo is what they think I'm after with the Draco. Get it how you live, it's how the phrase go. I tell them that I move when Yahweh say so. Hopefully they all attain a halo. Jeff is really about to go to Legos. I'm trying to get young Jern up on the payroll. If I'm Aristotle, E is Plato. I do this for the culture like I'm Quavo. Push it just like OG Mako. But don't forget to slow it down and ponder why every hood be on divided conquer. So we all can ball. Sinead O'Connor. Shout out Migos for bad and bougie. In '05, I was bagging groupies. I was so live, just a savage student. I had soul ties with the baddest hoochies. Look, please excuse me, I get mesmerized when I think about just how far I came. Elohim schooled me, I got exercised. All them demons died, now the flow is flame. I'm gone.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Could Do Better Radio, where we're always showing you where we could do better. And today we have an amazing show for you, okay? I don't know if y'all are excited, but if you're not, get super duper excited, just like the super moon and that we're gonna have tomorrow. But we'll get into that in just a second. I'm gonna introduce the beautiful people I have with me today. We have Reagan. I was gonna say your last name, but I didn't know.
I mean, I don't care.
Okay, Anderson. Her name's Reagan Anderson. Look her up, y'all. She's
spoiler alert.
I know, right? I'm like, anybody else want their governments put out, I will get it. I got you, okay? And we have Lady D with us.
Hello.
And y'all know Lady D. She brought back her book. Yeah. She has enormous amounts of energy and information to transmute to us today and always. You know, I love her. Number one fan right here. Okay. And we have Jason Chauncey with us.
Hello.
He actually, his soup goes way back. He was on our show, what was it, like almost 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have him back to teach us, also give us some energy. This whole show is literally about spiritual awakening. But that actually brings me to our first topic, which is the astrological breakdown. Okay.
Right.
So, first of all, tonight is the snow supermoon. Okay. And the number one thing that I want to concentrate about that is all the spirituality that's coming from it. It's calling you to figure out what it is that you need to do spiritually. Like, what is your calling? This is going to be a moon that's going to bring about a lot of change for you if you are willing. Okay, so I mean, obviously you need to do cleansing. You got to be ready for what's about to happen, because I didn't even realize that I had these people coming on the show and like what it was actually meaning. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, these are my friends, you know, and like I wanted to talk to them, didn't even think about it, but every single one of them does spiritual work and energy work, whatever they want to call it, and I just think that that's great. And I kind of want them to kind of just tell you what they do, just so you know. And then we're going to each have our own segment where we talk individually about what they do. But we'll start with Reagan.
So I'm a mystic, and I like to practice different things like tarot. I'm also a Reiki practitioner. And so I just live my life spiritually, and I like to heal others and help others on their journey.
All right. And just so for people who don't know what Reiki is, what's the quick description of that?
So just really quick, Reiki is a healing practice that began in Japan, but many Reiki practitioners believe that it was before that. But the traditional practice that we do today started in Japan in 1921 by Mikao Usui. And it's basically an energy healing technique where one channels the universal life force through them as a energy channel into a potential healer, help heal people. I got like a little nervous there for some reason.
Sorry.
I was like, wait.
You got this. You got it.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But you focus on different chakras, correct?
Yes. So traditionally you kind of focus on the 7 main chakras, and you can use different symbols to heal, whether it's emotional, mental, even physical ailments, and you just use those symbols in different chakra points or on physical ailments to heal them and help them heal themselves as well.
Yes, nice. And it also transcends like so many religions. So whatever you hear tonight, just know that like almost everything we talk about has transcended multiple religions. Like, and that goes from Christian all the way through pagan. So really, just keep your mind open, okay? Yes. All right, so Lady D.
All right. So basically, what I do, I look at myself as like a translator of language. So I dabble a lot into numerology. That was something that I just picked up when I was 5. I just understood numbers, and then when I turned 25, I believe I was 25 when I found out there was a name for it. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this forever. So so I wrote a book about it, and it tells you basically how to align with who you are. Just align yourself with your career, with your relationships, with your health, whatever you want to do, align with it. And I also deal with emotional energy, of course. I love emotions.
That's your thing right there.
They're delicious. They're literally delicious. And so tonight I'm going to talk a lot about that and introduce my next book coming out. So
whoop whoop! So excited. This is my favorite book ever, just so y'all know.
Thank you.
All right, and we have Jason.
Hello. So my name is Jason Chaussee, spiritual advisor. One of my great specialties is actually trauma and overcoming that trauma through the allowing process of self-love and self-empowerment. Now, everyone has their own opinion of what the hell that means. So realistically, it's about connecting to what truth means to soul. So in short.
I like that.
All right.
Nice and simple.
So like I was saying about the super moon, it just like brings the people together that you need.
Yeah.
And it's just going to help you find yourself. Like if it could be something as small as knowing that you're here to just maybe reach out to youth or even elderly people. That's a specific person that's here for that reason, because I can't do it all. She can't do it all. We're all here for different reasons.
Right.
And I just love the fact that this show has brought all these people together. So I didn't even know. But I guess I'll just start by just even maybe talking about my own spiritual awakening in a way. I just I feel like every single day I get a little bit closer to knowing what I need to be doing spiritually, and I know that it is reaching out to people who have gone through what I've gone through. And I'm not always open about it, like, oh hey, I'm just going through all this. Like, all my Facebook posts will always be positive, because I believe that you should spread positivity and not negativity, because of the workings actually of this lady right here. So so she's actually taught me a lot. Every single one of these guys has taught me a lot. I say Lady D because I've known her the longest.
Yeah.
She has changed my life with her book. This book right here in front of us. Like, she gave it to me for free too. So
Yeah.
she was handing out blessings back then.
But
But
I felt it. I felt it. Your energy was so strong, and she didn't mind asking questions, and I just so happen to love talking about whatever I know.
oh yeah.
So it was just perfect.
Yeah, and it's funny because she always found examples of me being exactly what it was at the time, and I had no idea. Like, almost starting a riot one time at work, I had no idea that I almost started. But I was like, we should be allowed to leave, and everybody was getting lit,
Yeah.
And that has to do a lot with the fact that my birthday is 10, which goes down to a 1, which makes me like, people look at me like I'm a leader and they think I know what I'm doing all the time, but
You do.
sometimes I do
I'd
know
agree
I
with
can hold
that.
it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, sometimes I need a little help, which is where everybody else comes in. So, which, no leader can do it alone, but she definitely helped me realize that. You also helped me realize that people do follow me literally. Like, when we're all standing in a pile, like a big pile of people, and I'm like, come on guys, let's go. Let's go. And you laughed one time, you were like, Heather, just start walking. And I start walking and everybody starts going, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna.
She had to see it. She really
Yeah.
she didn't see it before. I was
Yeah,
like, yes.
exactly. So numerology has helped me a lot. It helped me clarify a lot of thoughts that I've had my whole life that I had no idea about. Like, I always knew my thoughts caused a lot of crazy stuff. Like, I always tell it as a joke because I really did actually hug my favorite dog, like, as a child, and be like, I don't know what I would ever do without you, and imagine like horrible shit happening to him and be like, I love you so much. And then he literally ran out on the street and got hit by a car, and I was like, oh my god, like, it happened right in front of my face, like, and it was because I was so worried that would happen. And I know that's so crazy to everybody else who doesn't have this mindset, but it is so true. Like, and once you start living that, you'll realize your thoughts are so important, and that's really where my journey is. Like, right now, I wouldn't say that I could even help anyone else, but right now my journey is to help myself. and I'm
You're
showing
doing a
you
good
guys
job.
through example, like, we could do better. I think that is part of my spiritual journey, is just to bring you guys here to kind of guide other people. So, and I appreciate you guys. I mean, you read my tarot one time. Wasn't it right before my car got stolen?
Yeah.
The day before
Like,
my
literally
the day before my
and
car got
she pulled
stolen.
the tower card.
Yeah.
And I was
So-
like, the tower can be symbolic of kind of like the external circumstances kind of causing something to completely shift and change, and it destroys everything around you. So you feel like, the Tower of Babel being like stricken by the skies.
OMG.
It was so
Sorry,
good.
I'm having a moment real quick.
What's the moment?
I don't know if you remember this, but like we were just talking about 2 years ago, I had my moment where I quit my job and everything, like, literally everything, just destroying it around me, like letting it go, not destroying it, letting it go, but trusting something will replace it. But you came over and you did our tarot reading for me and my husband.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that card was pulled and you were like, don't freak out. It's not bad, but
Yeah.
I had no idea what was to come. So much more had to happen that I'm very grateful for it now, because I'm so stable.
In line.
Yeah, I'm very stable now. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, I like to liken that card, like each card has like a dualistic meaning, right? So to me, the tarot or the tower card in the tarot basically represents kind of like a destruction of everything around you, but then it's now a solid foundation to build things on top of,
Yes.
and or clearing space to make room for blessings. Sometimes
Yes.
we have like all these entanglements, all these attachments, and then we aren't able to take on more.
Yeah.
So the universe is going to step in and kind of like remove things that are no longer serving the highest purpose that is in store, and then it's going to sometimes feel like chaos. It's sometimes going to feel like destruction. It's going to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But as spiritual people, we have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And
Right,
being
exactly.
challenged
And that's
and
the
growth.
gift. It's such a gift.
It is, and it's a vulnerability, because you have to. You know what? Actually, that's my number one advice about this supermoon. Allow the vulnerability. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to have emotions other than being happy.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a difference.
But
you
see,
know,
in my opinion, you actually have to sit on that.
right?
We're all spiritual people, but sometimes we're taught you gotta change your emotion right there. and there. Sometimes you gotta sit in it.
You're absolutely right. I think I experienced that at the highest level when when my stepdad's mother passed. I felt like grief
I remember
coming.
you told me,
like
yeah.
it was the weird. I'm like I had to just sit there and let it pass. But I'm like, what the hell was that? You know,
Because you don't do sad. This girl does
Yeah,
not
I don't. I don't stay there long, and
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and work it out. Whatever it is, I'll just go ahead and bite the bullet, work it out, so I can move forward or whatever. But that right there, I was like, oh my goodness. But it taught me how to allow it to pass. You don't have to engage in the grief or whatever, you know, any of the negativity, but it's okay. Like, it's your friend.
But see, for me, I spent what was it? Probably a couple years going through some stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, just fucking get over it.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And I'm like, I have to go through my process. Whether my process is 30 seconds or 2 years.
Right.
It's me.
Right.
I'm responsible for this. And I got to take care of this first.
Right. Exactly.
I appreciate you saying that, because that's what a lot of people don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
Right there. I didn't know either at first. It was just like, you know, like, am I really just that unreasonable here? That I can't take this time to work out my shit, you know?
No, you're not. You're not irrational. You're extremely rational. That's actually the issue. We're all crazy to people who don't think like us, and people who don't think like us are crazy to us, right?
Yep.
So, but anyways, we're about to go to a break real quick. But when we come back, we are definitely going to be talking about mysticism,
Yes.
numerology, and spiritual guidance of all sorts. Okay? And so make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
All right.
See y'all soon.
Chillin' with some gun ass G's, it's bound to break you to your knees. I like my money moving fast, so don't be moving at ease. No, so don't be moving at ease. No, when life gets hard, don't you ever give up. Just take a look in the mirror and watch how that vision gets clearer. How that vision gets clearer. Now I ain't come here to play and I ain't come here to stay. I came to spit the realest of the realest. These buses peeping out their windows so they can see me really do this. I need God to take my sins away. Too busy worrying about the wrong things. Too busy worrying about the wrong mistakes. Or something you can replace. They put me under pressure that's so hard to release. Now watch it increase. You created the beast. I'm full of stress and always in the mess. Except this is great. I'm surprised my ass ain't dead. Never had the easy life. Sometimes I wish I wasn't alive. Wishing no word, no one lies. Me and the home run, shaking the dice to pay the price. Before you go fuck with the team, I need your ass to think twice. I was riding for you all the way, but you didn't do the same. So why you claim to be my homie and turn around to do some shit that was really phony? Down as Jesus, bound to break you to your knees. And like my money moving fast, so don't be moving at ease. No, so don't be moving at ease. No, when life gets hard, don't you ever give up. Just take a look in the mirror and watch how that vision gets clearer. How that vision gets clearer. Might as well get ready to prepare, so everybody just watch out. Cause little Nope's about to be slanting in the red. You ain't gotta say, just go pop prepared. Never show your enemies that you got fears. Fuck everything, you run the seed, play, plant it in the garden, I'll blossom in the sun. The rules of life will never change, but it seems after today or tomorrow things will never be the same. I'm very gentle when I'm playing with the devil at my highest.
Feel like I seen heaven, seen hell. What's worse than jail? My time is precious. I've been so reckless. That change, I see it. OTC, I need it. I travel as I search. My problem gets to hurt. Decisions important. How much is enormous? Just want to do better. Don't blame me, don't judge. I'm gifted. I rap. This is perhaps my chances to do more. Emotions I record. What could be worse than a distraction from all the liquor, these drugs, plus women that want some action, They see me soaring, I can't let them stop me now, cause they not going where I'm going. I need to let it go. Got dreams, got visions. I put on my feelings. These people, they use my kindness for weakness. You play me, I play me. I should have known. I sit back, I reflect while getting. Yo, my ex-boo be tripping. She's so fucking controlling. When will you realize that's the worst way to hold me? Why can't my life be great? My head up to the man. I got the vision they don't see cause they don't understand. I need to let it go. Thinking I'm gonna jump down my life and you not even know. What you ain't don't make the shit and I'll be there when you can stop the growth. If one day I think I know about this life is unpredictable. And so I shudder.
I'll give you energy and attention one last time. After this, no more shaming me, no more hating me. Leonard Skinner, free this bird.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Could Do Better Radio. We're always showing you where we could do better. And y'all know we just stopped about talking about emotions, so we're going to actually continue to talk about that because that's actually what your next book is about, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll let you go ahead and introduce it because you'll do a better job.
Well, basically, what I realized was that we were actually off air. We were just talking about unconditional love.
That's right.
And that's the thing with emotion is I realize they are unconditional. You don't have to wait till you get, like, for example, people wait till a payday to feel paid or abundant. Or they wait till the kids are quiet to actually reach for their peace. Like, they wait to this certain point before they'll actually accept it. And so for the past 2 years, I've been living as unconditional as possible with my emotions. And so literally I quit my job. I let the car go. I let the house go. I let all this stuff go. And I was just actually literally feeling good, just seeing if it'll change. I kind of wanted to test out the Abraham Hicks teachings, like, to the highest level I could. And what I found was you do get everything back. Everything works out. Like, love.
Newsflash, y'all. Everything works out.
Like, it literally, you don't crash and burn like you would think. Like, you know, you have some things you have to let go of, but everything is replaced. Like, my car was repoed, and then I got a free one. You know, a free car. And then, like, my home that was $1,200 a month, now I only pay $400. You know, like, things like, it's so many things just start working out in my favor and still working out. And so it was all based off me learning how to release negative emotions and allow the positive ones to rise. It's through alignment. So, like, I have my favorites. Like, I know, like, the path to get to any emotion that you want to reach. Like, for some people, they say, oh, I want love. So they go out and try to find love. When really, if you just clear your mind, your heart begins to open. And then you hit that path straight to that love, that source of love. And then you start having loving experiences all around you. It's amazing. Like, every emotion is delicious.
So emotionally, though, right? Like, your book, the one that you were going to talk about, is how your emotions can make you rich, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that was that title came to me after meditation. Your emotions can make you rich, and I thought it would be, literally just millions of dollars were going to pile in, but instead I became this, like, amazing person. Like, I'm completely aligned. I'm a magnet, literally, to whatever I want. I don't need money. You know, like, if I say that I want a sandwich, someone's going to end up giving me a sandwich or some random thing is going to happen. And I'm getting better and better. My husband and I play the game.
Oh, my gosh. Her husband is, like, the other half of the puzzle here, y'all. You don't even know. Like, he's amazing. He does the exact same thing.
Yes.
It's so crazy. I saw him because we all worked together. He was killing it all the time. People were mad. Like, even magnets, now. Literal magnets.
Yeah, it's like people look at us and they're like, how is it, like, so great for you? And we can't, the only drawback I would say is, you know, you want to just, you know, you get used to planning out what's going to happen next. when now we just write it down, and we'll meditate, then we'll write it down, and we'll literally allow it to happen. Yeah, we expect it to happen. We don't doubt it, and that's just learning how to walk around in clarity, almost like in a meditative state all the time. It's just really the thoughts are, we only engage in the ones we want. But I skipped the thought process. That's something I wanted to bring up. The reason I love emotions so much is because now I don't have to watch my thoughts. I only pay attention to how I feel. So if I'm feeling clear, I only have clear thoughts. Today I was practicing stability all day because with today being in numerology, it's a day of 6. It's a lot about stability and things. So I started practicing stability. The ideas that came through were amazing. They were all very stable, sturdy, something I could grab and do today and profit from if I wanted to or whatever. It's just, you can skip all that thought process work.
Yeah, and also sometimes I feel like that brings about emotions when you think about stuff too much. Like, that's really the reason you shouldn't think about stuff too much, is because all the emotions.
Yeah, it triggers so many things.
Exactly. So if you were going to give everybody advice for somebody who knows nothing about numerology, right? Or emotional guidance system, these are like level 3
big subject
terms,
topics,
right?
Yeah.
Like, emotional guidance system, low-key, is literally just when things are happening to you, look and see what your emotional status is, and then try to be the opposite of that, or the same if you want more of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a game.
Yeah.
It's like a game. I like it now. Life used to scare me because I'd be like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I didn't want to be around certain people. I felt I had to protect myself, things like that. Now that I'm so stable in practicing the emotions, like if I want to feel love, I love love. It's romantic, but it's also real. Like you actually, you can look at someone that's in anger and actually have compassion. Instead of getting upset, you're like, oh, I can understand. If I was seeing it the way you were seeing it, I'd be mad too. So it's easy to diffuse and stuff like that. But
you're so good at that. I'm still trying to get there, y'all. I had to call her and have her walk me through it. Okay.
But once you practice the emotions, you can't help it. You can't help it because I only have access to that thought. It's like a cloud. But
that's true.
Oh, but I got off track. The reason I call it a game is kind of like when you go about the day. Let's just say my brother or somebody walks up to me. He's angry, and I know that I wasn't doing anything wrong. Like, what are you picking on me for? He's angry, but that's showing me that I had some kind of anger going on within myself that I didn't even know, and so he's showing it to me. So it's like the contrast. So I know, oh, okay, I need to calm down and practice a little more peace, practice more calm. But compassion puts anger out. I mean, just completely diffuses it. It's amazing. That's the type of stuff you're going to learn in the book.
Right. And so actually I just got myself off track too. So the question was for me was if you were going to tell people who knew nothing about it, right? Like one thing that they could do, like maybe a process or a mentality to practice to maybe try it out, what would you say?
Oh, it's really simple. Meditate. That to me is it teaches you the skill of how to release thoughts and how to diffuse the situation. So with meditation, I think that's number one thing you can do. And then after that, you just want to learn how to hold your alignment as far as you can throughout the day. And so at first, when I wake up, here it is. There's a point in the it comes to me. There's a point in the morning. Am I running over?
No,
time?
you're good. We got 5 minutes.
Okay, there's a point in the morning before you remember the day before you associate with the person, the personality you were before, because you're not your body, you are the energy inside. Yeah, you're that soul. So you don't have to bring that person with you the next day. You can let that person die off and just breathe deeply in that space. You have 17 seconds. You can breathe deeply in that space. Fill it with thankfulness or be grateful, whatever you want. Fill it with something positive, and it gives you this leverage that will coast you probably well into lunch, right. And then each day you can get further and further into your day. At this point, I can get to about 11 p.m. before I have a negative, like a real negative thought stream that I allow to eke in.
That's awesome. You almost get through the whole day then.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's so easy. It's natural now. Like, it just happens. But it was literally a little bit by little bit that I did over a span of 2 years.
Was there like a process such as like, thought replacement or anything like that?
Well, you have to replace. You do have to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. You can't just stop you can't just stop anything. You have to replace it with something else if you want like true change with it. So my process, what I'm telling you, that was literally my process to be able to command that first 17 seconds of the morning. And literally it took me just further, and for every day I got further into the day. It was amazing. And then my days start changing. In my book, I tell you the recipe for a great day. Like, it's
only $20, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So what we're doing right now is actually plugging all of your stuff.
Oh, awesome!
It's only $20, y'all. And I'm trying to tell you, y'all know me, the ones who've been watching me since the beginning. My show doesn't start always on time. We could do better is literally a motto not only for this show but for my life. And so like, but this girl right here has taught me a lot. And one of the things that I'm learning right now is when I have like an unhappy thought. She's talking about replacing, right? I used to try to just replace it with something positive, but that's really hard for me because I'm a Capricorn. So I'm like, actually, let's just not do that at all, right? Because I'll be like, well, there's a flower right there. I don't know. Like, I'm just too sarcastic for my own good. So instead of that, I literally just start to appreciate things that I actually have because I can't be sarcastic with that because I'm sincere in it, right? Yeah. And one of my number one things is I always think about my pups and my nieces because they're adorable. And there's no way I can be sarcastic with those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is all from reading this book right here and learning. I don't have to read her next book because she's literally discussed all of it with me so much.
Yeah.
But I'm going to buy it anyways because I love you. But
I love you too.
So tell them where they can get it.
Okay, everything, if you go to, everyone's on Instagram, I hope. If you go to Instagram.com, I'm on Ask Lady D, at Ask Lady D, and there's a link on there that has a link to all my other stuff, so the books will be on there and available.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's Ask Lady D, but that's on the screen, right?
Yeah,
on the screen. All
but
right,
also
so,
they can come to you for personal readings too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Same place though, because if you want to set up anything, I have my email and everything on there, so everything guys, through Instagram.
We're gonna go on a short break, but they'll all still be here when we get back. And stay tuned because we have more, if you can believe it, even more stuff coming to help us all do better, because this moon is gonna force us all to do better. That's why they're here to help us. So thanks.
Awesome.
Be right back right after this. All right.
Do I love you or I hate you? That's the question. Do I need you or leaving was a blessing? I gotta know, boy, you messing with my mind. I got your time, but is it really mine? You talk good, known to have your girl shook. You can leave me out with just one look. Don't know what it is, got me so hooked. All up on your love, maybe just because. Cause when I'm with you, man, the pain is pleasure. When I'm with your life gets better. You take trips across my mind. What we got is hard to find. Yeah, you know you got it down. Yeah, you know you got it down. So don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. You better not act too tough. You just might mess this up. Cause if we're not doing good and I done had enough, I'm throwing all your stuff. Better not call my bluff. All my love, all my trust, wanna give it to you. Can't give up on us. All the things that you do. If you want it like I want it, baby, let's not waste time. I'll be yours forevermore, and you'll be mine. Baby, I got the time, we can get it right. If you wanna talk about it, come over tonight, yeah. You can be the guy, I can be your light. I can feel it, we gon' be alright, yeah. If we gon' do it, I don't wanna fight. Baby, we both gotta feel that the future bright, yeah. I don't have a problem claiming what's mine, as long as you promise not to waste my time. Oh, I want you, I can't let no one else have you. Or is it that nobody make me feel like you do? Like, does it get better than this? Oh no, is another gon' kiss like we kiss? I don't think so, cause you're taking a chance. You're holding my hand for this last dance for real. But move slow, but you can't let go for real. So what am I supposed to do? Don't know if I can get over you. You got me backsliding, cause I don't know what to do. You got your girl hiding from my friends, cause they know that I'm lying. Like where I've been, cause I've been with you. Even though I've forgiven all the stuff you put me through. Cause it's hard to forget all the tears that I cried. But I tell them all to chill, baby, if you're down to ride. All my love, all my trust, wanna give it to you. Can't give up on us, all the things that you do. If you want it like I want it, baby, let's not waste time. I'll be yours forevermore, and you'll be mine.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Could Do Better Radio. We're always showing you where we could do better. Hopefully you were checking your emotional status during that little break. And now we have Reagan here to teach us a little something. I'm gonna let her take it from here.
So in light of the full moon, I always like to do new moon and full moon readings, just kind of giving us kind of an idea of what to do in the next 2 weeks, or energetically what to focus on, or put our thoughts and meditations towards. For some reason, I felt really called to the Angel Therapy deck. I think it's a lot more palatable for people who are inexperienced with tarot. It's not quite a tarot deck, it's an oracle deck. The difference primarily being the imagery and the messages associated with the cards.
I'm only laughing because, you know, I'm laughing.
I do. Well, because people always ask me, they're like, so what's the difference? So I'm like, all right, I feel like my spiel should just kind of like...
It is true, though. The angel ones are great because they're very... I love oracle cards because they're so positive. Like, it's... You're not asking, like... You can't ask oracle cards petty questions. Let's just say that much. You can only ask for guidance. That's all they provide you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and I like these too because they're, like, really simple, basic messages, but they can be really insightful. And it can be, I think, palatable, The other decks I have, they have different types of meanings inside of them. And so I feel like my Isis Oracle, it's very Egyptian themed. But for me, I feel like the kind of client that would benefit from an Isis Oracle reading would be someone who already has a spiritual background and spiritual practice. Because the messages are kind of more esoteric. And then with a traditional tarot deck, I feel like that works for everyone, but it can contain sort of heavier messages where we have to kind of combat heavier emotions, things that we may not want to confront. Whereas with this, it's very lighthearted and very kind of like focused on light energy, and people like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Are you gonna do some?
Yeah, I'm gonna do these
live?
3.
Just doing them right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is funny.
Does that say?
So wait, before See, I want to know what that was.
I was like, I didn't even know these had vegan on them.
But the cards that you just pulled, those are you reading your own energy?
No,
or
these are for like the people watching.
Okay, gotcha. So I didn't know if it was like when you pick up a card, it has to be for a specific person or something like that.
When I shuffled the deck, I kind of imagined that it's for like the viewers or anybody who might receive the messages.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I'm thinking these will resonate with some of the viewers and you guys as well.
Right.
Well, one is already resonating with me.
So I want to know what that was.
So the first card I pulled was crystals. And so the idea of this card is like a dual meaning. One talks about using crystals from the mineral kingdom, incorporating the use of crystals into your life. Ways that you can do that, you can just wear crystals. You can also put them underneath your pillow, place them in your room. Crystal gridding can be done in a large space or in a small space, so you can like arrange the crystals in a very geometrical format in a small area to kind of generate energy in that space. Or you can even do it in your entire room or entire household. Okay. So if you took a crystal and you put one in each corner of a room, and then mentally imagine yourself connecting all 4 of the crystals in a white grid around the room, you can create a temple or protected space for that period of time. And so you can use crystals in the mineral kingdom, but it also talks about crystal beings, which essentially is in this belief system, you know, if you've heard of indigo children, crystal children are kind of like the next wave following indigo children. There are actually like rainbow. And so it represents that crystalline, pure, childlike energy, creative energy. And so this can indicate either needing to incorporate the use of crystals in your life or having a crystal being around you, like most likely a child, but it could also be older adults who are very spiritually attuned, who is in need of assistance or is assisting you at this time.
Okay.
And then
So we could do better not to throw in that in the middle of a reading, but
the next one is you are profoundly clairvoyant. So this is a message out to people who are in this room as well as people who are watching, that you have the ability to heal, teach, and sense energies, whether you are mentally intuitive. Mental intuitives are able to pick up on other people's mind, their thoughts and the things that they're thinking. Whereas an emotional intuitive, they're going to be really in tune with the other people's emotions around them. Physical intuitives are going to sense physical ailments and physical pain. So some people who are physical intuitives may not even believe that they are intuitive at all. But then when they're around someone who has a pain or an ailment, they might actually feel that same pain in their body. Why is my back hurting? You know, and they don't know why. Well, then someone's like, oh, well, I just got a disc in my back. You might literally be feeling their physical pain. And then there's also spiritual intuitiveness, where you can pick up on spirits, angels, ghost entities. And so this is saying basically, if you feel like you might have one of these abilities or that you are connecting yourself to those abilities, then definitely look deeper into that during this next 2 weeks and kind of try to like be open to receiving the messages that angels are communicating to you, or your spirit guides, ancestors, deceased relatives might be communicating to you, because you are receiving guided messages. And so maybe sometimes when you're washing the dishes, this is something I always tell people, when you're washing the dishes, water is very intuitive and it flows. So when you're like washing dishes, you might have like a creative idea.
that always happens.
Me
That's so
too,
crazy.
yeah.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, so actually it's the water. And
Yeah.
water is a spirit. So like it's not just for cleaning, washing, and for, you know, like you using for some reason. You can also like use water as a spirit and communicate with it. So if you step into like mundane tasks that involve water or other elements, you can actually channel those energies while you're in practice with them. And so even with just intentionally stepping into doing your dishes, like I would love to like have water communicate something to me. Just, you know, thinking that, you will create the energetic space for it to be open to flow.
Right, that's awesome.
And then the final card, I always, like the first time I pulled this card,
I'm so excited about this card. I don't know what it is.
I think this card's so funny, and it's like kind of awkward because I am vegetarian,
Yeah.
and I like don't like those like militant like vegetarians and vegans who
Yeah,
are just
me
like
neither.
everybody needs to be vegan, because I just feel like it gives us a bad rap. Like, you know,
Yeah.
educate people. Yes, food is an energy. When you eat, you are taking in energy, and that energy becomes the energy that you use to live. So I always try to tell people, like, when you eat an animal, you're eating an energy that is already dead. Whereas when you eat like a plant or fruit or vegetable, it is living. So you're taking in living energy. And so, you know, I have no judgment, but this card actually indicates that you should be focusing on your diet and the things that you're taking into your body, and to focus more on living, you know, foods that match your spiritual vibration and frequency.
We were just talking about that.
I just want to add one last thing about the energy thing. Also, you have to remember, when you eat animals, you also are taking on all of that energy that they had right when they
Yes.
died.
Yes.
Like, so if you eat meat, like, try to eat it like from a place where they treat their animals right, you know, because then you'll be taking in a lot less of that negative energy too, which is a huge thing, which is why when people go vegan and vegetarian, like, you see such a dramatic change in their life. And or they change back, you know, so like to not eating meat again, you know, and I'm just saying, like, look at that. And I didn't know any of this stuff when I first went vegetarian, and I just would tell people all the time, I don't know, something about you just changes, and I had no idea, like, because you even knew me as a vegetarian, you know, like,
Right.
I didn't know any of this stuff. She taught me about all this stuff. Like, and so, like, I knew, even as an a cut off person. You know, like that was a huge difference. So sorry, I feel like that
I
card was
I
specifically for
totally.
me.
It was for
I
it was
totally
for
feel
me
that.
too.
So I feel like that's so important. So, and everybody who's here, like, I hope that this message is for you.
Yeah.
And you can message me if you need any help being vegetarian or vegan. Okay.
Yeah, you do have all the tips, because I know that is like it drops you. It's kind of like you don't know what to do. I remember when I think I was vegetarian for about 8 or 9 months.
Yeah, you were a good solid long time.
Yeah, but I didn't know what to do, and you were so helpful with everything. Like,
I'm
you can
still
eat
here
this.
for you.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go on a quick break real quick.
Oh, okay.
And when we come back, we're gonna be talking to Jason. So make sure you stay tuned. Yes, thank you so much for telling everybody that you.
And thank you for listening, guys, and being a part of my reading.
This doesn't mean go vegan, but it does now.
What does that mean?
Who knows that? Who knows that? Who knows that? Neighborhood hope dealer. Was a youngin' in the studio with coke dealers. Dark night to these clowns, I'm a joke killer. Couple women in the city call me the soul stiller. Not from Pittsburgh, and I ain't no thief. But when I'm inside your girl, I bet a hoe can't breathe. Eric Gardner mixed with a little bit of Popeye's business. Scream fuck 12, but when it's us, all we hear is the crickets. Sorry for my insensitive comments. My content is critically covered with conflict. My conscience always care for my cousin's a convict or a-con. Don't matter whatever you call it. Regardless of all that, we still picture perfect like we taking the Kodak. Don't wanna see us winning, bitch, I'm hanging with Kodak. They scared of my afro, yeah nigga, I'm pro-black. Who knows that? 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 Neighborhood therapist. So many people share with me what they embarrassed with. Look at my uncle like it's mental illness inherited. Self-hatred is the monster that you can't compare with shit. Swear it ain't fair, but it's life and imperative. I'm taking care of this situation, too impatient to wait for narratives. I get invited by dames to trap me in marriages. They try to dumb me down, I would double dog dare a bitch. I don't really like to move unless I'm paid. I'm not impressed with hoes that don't even bathe. I don't really think a pimp is a trade. The proudest players act pitiful when they peep they've been played. Regardless of all that, turn over a new leaf like Boston passing the ball back. Came out the mental asylum and vowed not to go back. My diet was Seroquel, Celexa, and Prozac. Who knows that? 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 Who knows that?
Hey guys, welcome back to We Could Do Better Radio. We're always showing you where we could do better. And last but not least, definitely not least,
Yes.
okay, we have Jason. And just to kind of start it off, you know, because he did give me this whole long thing. Other than being extremely organized and amazingly detailed, he is really great at trauma. And I kind of wanted to get into that, you know, like I think that is like one of your that's like one of your specialties is like you were saying was helping people deal with that. So I'm gonna let you take it from here since you're the expert.
So you're choosing not to read it. All right, got it.
I can't
Cool,
read that.
man.
Oh, you want me to read it out loud to everybody?
Jay.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted me to read it.
do the-
Oh, okay.
Just the first part.
Okay. Jason is an accomplished holistic trauma expert, which is how come I knew he was good at that, okay? A certified master transformational coach and successful spiritual teacher. His teachings are based on extensive studies and his own life experience.
So keep going.
Oh, okay. I was like, let me know when you want me to stop. His special gift was received through traumatic brain surgery.
Brain
At-
injury.
injury. Sorry. And at the age of 2.5, which resulted in a 25-day coma. Since awakening with seizures, Jason has experienced life differently. In spite of his physical limitation, he has been able to research and apply a full body approach to his own healing. His spiritual teaching energy work has transformed many lives, teaching individuals to find different ways to heal their own mind, body, and soul. Most people have had traumatic events happen, are unsure on how to thrive in life.
So that's a lot of fucking shit. So thank you for reading that.
Oh no, you're good. I should have read it beforehand, but we could do better.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
One of the things about trauma, one of the things about spirituality really is we're all our own fucking mentors. Regardless of spirituality, atheism, or religion you believe in, realistically one of the things is coming back to self. And understanding what self means to self. Do you love yourself? Do you want to show up for yourself with that love? I mean, this wonderful woman here gave a lot of great advisement from her book. She gave you a wonderful reading for tarot cards. So one of the bigger questions is, you love to live in your mind? Anybody? Does anyone love to live in your mind?
I love living in my mind. It's my favorite place.
Okay. So I'm going to quote a friend of mine. Okay. What if you lived in your mind in a mind jail?
That would be horrible.
And what if the warden was you?
We'd have a pretty strange jail.
Right.
So I want to make this very...
I'd be really loose with myself. I'd be like, do what you want.
You're out on good behavior.
I'd be way too easy on myself, honestly.
But see, living in that understanding, you have the right to go in and out of it.
Yeah.
One of the things she was saying is about the emotional steps. Well, quite frankly, when you feel that overwhelm, that frustration, that fear, that anxiety, what do you do to take care of yourself? What's your self-care plan of action? Because in my opinion, and yes, I'm going to be ballsy here, self-care is healthcare. Self-love is healthcare.
Absolutely.
You want to fight with me on it, look me up, okay? But that's my personal opinion. Right. So once we take away the psychology of belief, of living in that mind jail and start embracing some of her steps of embracing your own self-love. A lot of people go around educating you on their fucking process.
Yeah.
Their fucking process isn't for you.
Right.
You have to discover your own self-care process. Period. You are your own guru. You are your greatest enemy or your greatest ally.
Well, I do agree with you on that for sure. Self-love is definitely something that you should that should be chosen individually, you know, because like what y'all might do for self-love, like me literally just like being allowed to just like lay there as soon as I wake up and not having to rush myself is self-love for me sometimes. Like even if I'm in a hurry and I know that everybody else is like, yeah, we know, Heather, you know, like but I'm just saying, because if I do just pop up out of my bed really quick and just start freaking out, I never have left at like faster than when I just stop for a second. Even if I only have like 5 minutes to just breathe and not think about the fact that I'm about to freak out all day long, right? I freak out way less, you know, and I'm not leaving any sooner. Otherwise I would have probably gone down the street and left my phone and then got down the street again and realized I left my money or, you know, whatever it is. So I do agree with you. The self-love thing does need to be separated. Like it needs to be individualized. That's also why people buy self-help books all the time and it doesn't help them.
The self-help industry is a great industry, but realistically, gotta cut through the bullshit.
You do. It's a lot of fluff out there.
Well, and they're selling you a process that's of somebody else's making. Develop your own. I mean, hell, I've parts of my journey of walking with people is actually a 6+ plan of how to break all that down, and then kind of like we were talking about earlier, add and subtract. If I do something and guess what, it doesn't feel good, or if I eat some food and 30 minutes later I feel like shit, probably not going to eat that again. So I'm not going to implement that step again in my life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Most people don't do that part. And then they just keep going in the circles and hitting the brick wall, and it gets bigger and bigger.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
And
I
if-
was just thinking that in my head. That's so crazy that you said that, because you said, would you do it again? And I was in my head like,
Well, it's whatever your dislike of music, any of the senses, any of those things that we have control over within our mind. Here's the fun part, or our heart. If I'm listening to a song that I don't like, and I'm listening to it over and over and over again, that's a choice.
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah.
So you're playing the same, what I call a drunk repeat play, in the psychology of the conscious and the subconscious and the mind. So do you really want to step into your own level of awakenage?
Exactly.
And like she said, shift the consciousness of reality to be able to make it where, oh, I have choice. And I am, as a human, okay, excuse me, let me see if I can say this again, right? You are all being, therefore you're human beings. Therefore, if you weren't meant to be, you wouldn't be being.
So, with everything that you've been through, right? I do, because I agree. I think that, you know, the best self-help that you can get is when somebody explains something to you and what it means to them, right? Like, rather than telling you, like, for example, what is the, like, so many steps to whenever you're trying to get over a drug or alcohol or something. I can't
12-step
remember.
program.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff, like those that are tailored specifically like that, I never really had any faith in that. I've never been addicted to anything, so I'm not exactly an expert. But just learning about them in class and stuff, you know, because I go to school, I'm a psychology major, and so we've learned about like stuff like that. And I know people who have gone through it who continuously fail, right? But one thing I do know is that, you know, people have, like you said, made their own thing where they did their own. Those people are the ones that become successful, but they've always done it by looking at somebody else and being inspired. So with that being said, what was it like? What is your self-care ritual that you do, that you've done, that made you get here now?
That's the 6 steps that I'm not going to share today. But
It's part of his program.
It's part of my-
Give us
program.
3
you
of
gotta
them.
holler at your boy. But
Oh wait, you know what? We can tell them about that though.
we are in just
Okay.
a minute. Okay, so the biggest part of the self-care plan is making an arrangement of agreements with, now this is just my personal opinion, your head, your heart, and your sexual organ.
I'm so glad you said that.
Now that's part of another program that I have.
That is true.
But realistically,
Gold.
the alignment of agreement,
That is.
okay, the alignment of the agreement is very powerful because we're all sexual beings. But in society today, we're taught to either not express that sexuality appropriately or to run away from it or whatever you want to do with it. But having the connection of agreement and being okay with fucking being okay with where you are with that in each and every single step that you take. That can be a very life-changing experience for someone.
It is. It
Well,
is.
I think it's so important, like, you know, discovering what self-care means to you as an individual, because I feel like by embracing our own unique identity and by embracing the fact that we do have unique perspectives, finding our own unique self-care ritual for our individual self is so important. There's a difference between being selfish at one's own expense and being selfish at another's expense. So when we become selfish at our own expense and we, you know, involve ourselves in something that benefits ourselves and doesn't take away from anybody else, I think that that is the first building block to helping other people. When you charge your batteries or you take care of yourself, you become the best possible version of yourself. So if you're already a loving individual, when you're at your best, you're your most loving. If you're already a helpful individual, when you're at your best, you're at your most helpful. So I feel like by looking at self-care as a way to truly help others, that's the best way to like really embrace it, not to look at it as something that's taking away from what you're giving to the world.
Exactly.
But you made a statement. I'd like to piggyback on that real quick. Rituals, ceremonies, and rites. Birth rites, if you want to get technical. Woo! Those words are scary. What the hell were you guys doing? I think it was in February, watching the Super what?
Super Bowl.
New Year's.
You said Super Bowl.
We all have these ceremonies and rituals and rites that are already there. So why not implement that into your self-care as well? We're having a big giggle over here, and
Yeah.
I completely lost it, man. I don't know what happened there.
Because I said Super Bowl. I thought it was the Super Bowl when you said Super.
Super
I was gonna say the Super Blood Moon. She said the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
We were just. I'm sorry. I'm.
No, yeah, I don't care. We're all good.
I'm sorry.
I'm crazy.
I missed it.
We were on a whole other level.
I'm gonna
over
explain.
here,
No,
man.
it's because what you were saying, like, it was not where we both went with it. Anyway, sorry. We could do better.
Yeah, we could do better.
We are doing better.
I'm so sorry. It's because of something stupid that I just said that I'll explain to you afterwards.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll be all good.
And whoever caught it.
So before we get into this, okay. So before we get into this, real quick, implement your own self-care plan for what's best for you. Now, I have a little piece of paper here that I'm also going to be offering to the epic tribe of We Can Do What?
Better.
Yeah.
Better.
So I'm going to give you the 5 steps for self-empowerment through self-love. And I'm also going to give you, if you want to have it, a 3-minute and 34-second numerology woman over here guided meditation by me. Now, if you don't like profanity, you probably want to turn your ears off here, okay? So, the 5 steps for self-empowerment through self-love. 1, take a deep breath and step back. 2, trust in the power of you by letting go of whatever no longer serves you or is getting your fucking way. Say fuck yes to your desires and feel into it. Take action in empowering you. And this is something that a lot of people forget about. Step 5, set up accountability for your success. So you'll be getting this little lovely PDF with a little bit of information on how to implement those steps. You will also get the 3-minute and 34-second guided meditation from me. Well, Jason, how do I do that? Well, I'm so thankful you asked. So as of right now, you can go to my website, lanternslighthealing.com, and sign up for a consultation with me if you want. But as of right now, I would like to actually invite you personally to personally email me and say, I would like to take you up on your free gift. Myself and my team will be more than happy to oblige you. It's going to be Jason at Lanterns, that's plural, Jason at lanternslighthealing.com.
Awesome.
And before she asks, what's my closing line or my ending statement? Be raw, be real, be true, be you.
Nice.
I love it.
All right. So,
did you want to give a hand clap? Is that what?
And I can personally vouch for Jason. He has amazing advice, and I just wanted to let everybody know because I've been on New Year's, spiritual alignment. I went to this specific special little event, and they can't hear.
No, we can hear.
Oh, but y'all can hear, but they can't hear?
Oh, no, we can all hear it.
Okay. I was just making sure. Okay, but yeah, so he gave me some incredible advice and empowered me, motivated me, and said things to me that, should have been obvious, but, were so potent in their ability to, hit me where I needed it to be. And he gave me practical, real-world advice, things I could actually go and do to kind of build my vision. So definitely, if you feel called to it, email him, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely email him, y'all. At least get this 3 minute and 34 seconds of your life to just silence yourself, right? It's guided. You don't have to do anything. He's going to tell you what to do with your brain, right? That's what it means by guided.
I love guided meditation so much. I really appreciate the people that do it. So that's amazing that you have one available, because I know it's a different process when you're the one having to record it. And
just imagine hearing your own voice 4 times.
Yeah.
That one wasn't right. Let's do
right?
Again. Yeah.
But seriously, it's such a good. I meditate every day. It's like a huge part of my life. So I'm looking forward to hearing yours. But it's just when you listen to the guided ones, they literally are holding your hand. You just listen and enjoy.
It's so easy to turn your brain off when someone
do.
Someone, if you're listening actually psychologically too. So because you can't do too much when you're actually concentrating on one thing, you know.
Right.
That's the point of meditation, y'all. Actually, it's to lose concentration, but we're not going to get into that because we got to go. And there's like a philosophy about it, but I do want to leave with just one thing. Remember, guys, tonight's the full moon, so make sure you put out your crystals, okay?
Yeah.
And just take time to meditate. Like, think about what you could do better, you know, like replace your negative thoughts with positive ones. This is all love. I'm trying to tell you, like, just do that and everything's going to change.
Yeah, everything. It sounds so simple.
And hit up Reagan if you guys want any kind of spiritual healing from Reiki. She can tell you what's going on in your cards. And you have a tarot channel, right?
Yes, the Priestess of Mysticism. It is my official Facebook page, and my Instagram is @witchesbrew. And so you can hit me up on either of those. The one last thing that I just want to tell y'all, I know that we're about to close out. Patience. Have patience in the process. The universe is saying have faith. You know, piggybacking on what she was saying about the new moon and this being a time of spiritual awakening, you know, you plant a seed into the ground. The seed goes in and outside of itself, and then it becomes a seedling. And sometimes we have to be patient with the process of what we've, you know, put into the earth and planted. And, you know, like a apple tree takes 3 years to produce fruit. So we have to be patient with the process and continue to have faith no matter how dark or bleak it may seem. Because if you lose faith, you'll have an abundance block.
Right.
You know,
which we'll probably be talking about next week. But and then also, y'all, make sure you check out Lady D on Instagram, right?
Yes, Ask Lady D. And it's on the bottom of the screen, right? Yeah, it's on the bottom of the screen.
Check out this book, y'all.
Yeah, check it out. It's my favorite book. Some of the best words I've ever read. So hopefully you guys like it too.
Buy it.
Yeah.
And then y'all make sure you hit up Jason. What's the email one last time?
Sure. Jason at lanternslighthealing.com.
And make sure y'all email him because it's totally worth it. Make sure you get there. You need his help, y'all. We all need help. Okay, I'm gonna go and I'm supposed to have met up with him already, and so now this is just making me want to do that even more. Sorry.
It's
all in
kismet.
timing, right? Patience. That's the thing. It's all
it's
timing.
kismet, divine timing.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, y'all, that's the end of our show. But thank you guys so much for coming. And remember, guys, we can always do better. See y'all next Tuesday.
Bye.